it's like applying for a job almost, you know. If you look into, like, I remember the days you used to have to go in and put in the resume, turn it in, write it out. First, you got to go in and get it. Once you go in and get it, then you have to write it out with pen. Then hopefully you didn't make any mistake, or you have to get another one. Applying for a job almost, you know. Love that. Yeah. And then you had to back go and submit it. And then the recruiter had to go and read through it. It was a lot of work. But now things got a little bit more easier, but it's also when things get easier, it become a little bit more easy to deceive as well. So it's give and take on both. But once again, a lot of people don't know. My wife and I, we met each other on the internet, Facebook. So it's like you can have some good stuff out of it, just like you can meet somebody through your church, through your school, through your whatever, and have one of the worst experience you've had in your life. But it's just really what you make it, though. That's my thing. But other than
I think people get too comfortable talking with their thumbs.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I would. Absolutely.
I think people, and I think that's what bothers me so much. It's like, okay, do you have a voice? That's fine. People get too comfortable, too comfortable talking with their thumbs. That bothers me.
See, and the unique and once again, no pressure. But you one of the most people that we never seen your face active on a video on TikTok, but you got over 1,000 followers.
Wait a minute, no, go look at me now.
But
look at me now. Look at me now. I got 2,000 followers.
Let me see. But do you have a video up? Is my question.
No. See, not one. You hear what I said?
But there's a thing. So it's like, but you don't come off as disrespectful and things of that nature. You challenge, but you're not disrespectful. Right. You know, and it's people that I didn't put in place and things. Once again, being too comfortable with their thumbs. But so I'm like, I agree with you about that. But I also know you people too comfortable with a lot of stuff, especially with these pranks and stuff people are doing.
Yeah.
And that they ain't got nothing to do. I'm like, nobody ever put hands on y'all, I'm assuming. That's all we think. Nobody ever touched y'all. And I'll be like, and that's such a dangerous thing to do. I always say,
yeah, I watch those pranks, and the same thing you're saying, it goes to my mind. Like, really, y'all living life dangerously because you just can't do everything to everybody.
Man, and just I always miss with Shane. I don't know if she in here. She loves sending me prank videos. I said, don't send me no prank videos. I don't play no type of prank. I don't play pranks on strangers. I don't play pranks on loved ones. Even when I kind of mess with a loved one, I know when to cut it off. Some people don't know when to stop playing. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Come on, Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. And it could be you think it's the most innocent thing, and you just don't know. Especially the way people be going crazy now. You don't know what you're gonna walk up on. You know that I think about the dude that be going in the grocery store talking about. Do you use this for roaches? Man, let me tell you something. You don't know what type of trauma somebody might have with roaches, or you just how offended somebody might be, and they might just whoop you up on one of them mouths.
And you deserve it most of the time. That's what I feel.
Yep.
Now this one is not a prank one, but this one do have me rolling, and I don't never want to enable them to keep doing it. But I said that would never roll up for me with my chances, because I'm a little bit too more blunt. But I'm honest and I am fair. But it's the one that like they ask you rate yourself 1 through 10.
Oh gosh!
I was like, please don't roll up with me with that. I'm gonna try to be kind. But it's like, and they look for people in certain areas too.
Correct.
And that's the thing. Like yesterday, I know better. I don't know why I did it. I went to the grocery store. What's up, V? What's up, Vic? I went to the grocery store yesterday, Christmas Eve. Horrible idea. It was wild in there.
Bro, what's good? Merry Christmas, man. I definitely agree with you. I mean, I went to the damn gas station. Everybody and their mama in there right now. I'm like, God damn, why did I have to do this? But I blame my damn job, though.
You working today?
Yeah, I had to work my second job because they begged. No one showed up for work, so they begged me to come in. I was like, "You bums of luck, I just drive out of town."
Well, hey, it's a two side. You know, you getting that extra pay.
That's why.
They got you in there, you know, filling a seat, doing the thing. So I'm gonna say from that HR department, hey, we appreciate you. Thank you. We thank you. I'm coming to that point in life. You know, I'm getting more on that other side of things. You know, where I need people that I can rely on. So I understand, like, we had to make some decisions like this week, and I'm in there. I'm like, I had to explain to someone, like, we work for an organization that it's not about the money, it's about helping others. And if we ain't there, other people don't get help, you know. So we make accommodations, we pay you well. Like,
so you guilt tripped them into coming into work and doing the job.
Hey, it's no guilt when the money into it. Like, that's all I'm like that. Cause okay, for instance, like, so during the pandemic, everybody's different. You know, I love it's everything culture. Everybody got a different perspective and think about it. But when I used to interview some folks, especially some men, they used to be like, I tell them, okay, we're a very fair organization. You know, I usually never talk about what I do now. I was talking in the past, but I got a shout out. It's legit. You know, if anybody listen, I'm not trying to be favorite. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but I've never worked for an organization that was so fair to its employees a day in my life, ever. Okay, like, we make sure, hey, we will get your 40 hours, and we don't want you stressing you out. We may have time for overtime, but we don't do like all those 20, 30. And I used to interview dudes like, no, I need like 10, 15, 20 hours overtime. I'm like, dude, we want to make sure you have time to be with your family. I don't want to be with my family. I want to be at work. And I'm like, you think it's a lie? It's like, it was wild. Like, when I used to interview some dudes, and we are very prone on having equitable fairness to everyone. But some folks, they may come in, like, I'm not saying y'all, but some people be like, oh man, this job working me. Some people like, I want to work.
You know what though? Because society has conditioned people like to be like that. That's even tipping. I shouldn't have to tip nobody. They should be able to get a fair wage regardless. Tipping should be an extra, a bonus, not a requirement.
Exactly.
See, because now they put the tip in the check. So before I tip, I make sure I ain't already paid for my tip.
Right.
I know where tipping come from too, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They didn't want to pay the black people. That's yeah.
Everything comes from slavery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything. When I tell you it's crazy, I hate tipping. I hate tipping for the sense of the Americanized tipping. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we done switched it up now because I've been waiting to do an episode about this. You know, I'm talking about a full detail because I remember in college when I'm already a poor college student. If you give me poor service, I was raised, you give me poor service, you don't get tipped.
Yeah.
Not like I would give them something. No.
What my dad does, he puts the tip on the table and he puts it in small denominations. And if he got to wait too long for water, he takes some of that away.
Hey, I do that mentally. That's how I am. And it's crazy that you said that because it's water. If you come by, if I drink water and it's like, dog, I can go get my food myself. I can go like, oh, my food over there, I can go get it. I'm one of those folks. I don't mind doing it myself. But if you give me excellent customer service, I have no problem tossing out whatever to toss out. I don't mind. I'm good at tipping when I do. But the ideology and the culture of tipping is so ass right now. It's ridiculous.
It's like an entitlement now.
It is. That's my point. They put it on your thing before you even get your service. Hey, do you want to tip?
I'm like,
the best way I tip.
Remember, tipping used to be 10% or 12% of your bill. Now it's 18 to 21%.
And once again, the tipping, the mindset of like, and that's why I like kind of discourage going out to a lot of places. I don't really like to cook. Well, I love to cook. I really like going out because one, it's like when I go out, I'm expected to tip someone, or like if you do a good job, make me feel comfortable, give me a good experience, no problem. Once again, no problem. But if you act like ass, I can tell you don't want to be here.
Doing the bare minimum,
bare base, extremely bare limit minimum. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want it because I didn't get a good experience. The food may have been good, and I can recognize because one of the biggest things for Drake here is customer service. If your food bad, I can still peek past the food being bad, handle that, and I still can tip because they ain't got nothing to do with the waiter or waitress. All right. But when the customer service is bad, no. But now I'm the one on the wrong, and I'm the cheap one because I don't. Yeah, are y'all crazy? Did y'all lose your mind?
I remember when I was in college, I had this white guy was roommate. He said, man, black people don't tip. I was like, then I asked him, like, were you friendly? Did you do a good job? Like, did you take care of them? And then he got kind of quiet when I said all that. But I guess some people, that sense of entitlement, they don't like to be held accountable. And like, good job if I leave a big ass tip. It's simple as that. It sucks I have to do that because we're so conditioned from slavery to do that, but pay them more.
Well, and that's the thing. If they are paid more, once again, pay more is cool. So I've worked in the service industry heavily. I was a bartender for 5-6 years. I never worked for a place to bartend. I was freelance. Okay. I did weddings, small parties, things of that nature. My auntie put me on at the age of 17, 18. She got the gift of gab and get a lot of charisma, and she put me on game. Shout out to my aunt Brenda. Okay. So because on certain levels, let me tell you this. Like we talked last week about the women and supervisor leadership roles. I done had good, I done had bad. Okay, I done had majority good in my life. I have understanding with the supervisor. Once again, this is the conversation last week. Now we talking about Lord, man. I've done a lot of white weddings and other folks' weddings, and once again, these are affluent people too. These are affluent. These are people with money. That may be the reason. Let me tell you that may be the reason. Hey, I worked at one wedding for, I promise you, no more than 45 minutes, 45 to 60 minutes. Came out of there with $375.
Okay.
I was just pouring wine and beer, and I danced with one person. That's it. Bro, hey, I got paid before, and they filled my tip jar up. Who complaining? Not me.
Right.
I was a freshman in college. Oh man, I was say less. Friday night, got off one job, put on my suit, bow tie, did that, kicked it, have fun, took out. All right, did my job, did it well. I done plenty of weddings, had a good time. Either I get paid beforehand without a tip jar, and people still try to tip me, or I don't get paid at all, and that people would make sure to tip the bartender. But these certain events, I was good. Now, once again, this is us talking. Once again, I'm not saying this is some, but I've worked too. I actually retired because of a black man. Let me tell you.
Oh man.
When I tell you they worked me to the bone.
Yeah.
Now these are some youngers. They were in their mid-20s. They're around my age, maybe a little younger. I mean, worked me to the bone. I'm talking about I never sweated like that bartending. So I'm telling you, every time I look around, hey, hook me up with this. Y'all ain't got no Crown. Y'all ain't got no Hennessy. Bitch, the menu's right there. What you got? What do you think I'm hot? the consistent stress, all right? But good, I'm doing a great job. People love me. I'm making people smile. I'm doing the twist. Everything tastes good. Everybody loved the bartender. Worked that thing for 3 hours. 3. Left there with $75.
Oh my.
Damn.
Oh my.
Damn.
That's a big contract.
And I didn't get paid.
Margins is woo.
And that's what I'm saying. And once again, this and my auntie, she's a little bit, she's and she may hear this. She in her 70s. I think she about to hit 72, 73. She come from a different in the generation and era. But she obviously tell me, don't tip. And I used to be I said, oh, you gotta stop being like that. Yes, we do. Yesterday, hey, I retired off that. Hey, she wasn't lying.
Man, just listen to auntie, man.
Because the people who tipped me, but it was the older women and the people, but at the same time, I had to be cognizant because once again, and let me be fair. Some of the older black folks tip. the ones that's a little bit more mature, they tipped. Youngers, when they do a damn thing, they come to, even the girl, they come over and flirt all damn day. I ain't worried about that. I need my money. Okay. Like, whatever. But then
they coming from the ass of cash mentality.
Yeah, you feel me? I'm good on that. No, thank you. But when I did the white events, the white youth wouldn't tip either. It'd be their parents tipping.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be more of an age and maturity.
And it might be the direction and instruction if they not being taught about the service industry and the value of tipping, because it wasn't until my sister was a waitress. I didn't know at that time minimum wage was $4.70 an hour. She was only getting paid $2 an hour. And she said that she had to shuck and jive just to get a decent tip. So that's where the tipping came for us. So I am a $20 to $50 tipper, depending on where I'm eating. And like my ex-husband, he did not tip. And this one girl, when I say she entertained our special needs daughter, I mean, we didn't have to wait for nothing. Our glass will be half full. She bringing a whole nother serving of drinks. So I saw him give her $5. I walked right over to her and handed her $100 bill. I said, "This is for you." She said, "Oh, your husband tip." I said, "You want that little peasy tip or you want this one?" Like, it's all, I believe it's all about instruction. If we teach our youth the value of tipping, I understand the history of it, but to let them know that the service industry, they in there.
I'm not,
doing
you know what though,
hustle,
the corporate monster will never stop if we don't stop. And that's why what you're saying is beautiful, but you know what? I'm gonna let you know, I'm teaching my child, don't do it. Don't do it. They will never change. The corporate companies will never step up and pay. They making money. Trust and believe, they are making money.
I get what you're saying, Jess, but here's the thing: the middle person is the one that suffers, the worker.
But then that's where you listen. That's where you make a choice. If they all stick together, stand up and say, we're not doing this. Ain't nobody there to work. They gonna have to do it. The owners are gonna have to do it.
And let me tell you this: they're gonna make them changes.
Yes.
Yes. Like even the discussion about minimum wage. Okay. I remember, how many years ago was this? Maybe 6, maybe 7. And once again, being from Texas. Now, y'all know the minimum wage. Like, we can Google it right now. What is the minimum? Hold on. Alexa, let's get you involved. What is the minimum wage for Texas?
Texas.
Minimum wage was $7.25.
How much?
What did it say?
$7.25.
Oh, Lord help us all.
Well, thank God for Arizona, because it's $15 here.
Okay, but you see how that reaction, but Pete, did you see how that reaction changed right there? That's what I'm thinking.
And in Arizona, $15 an hour just for minimum wage won't even give you a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood. It may get you a 2-bedroom apartment, but then you got to deal with your country cousins that you didn't invite and they ain't paying no rent.
And then the fact of also they also not giving you full hours too at those.
Exactly. I was getting ready to say that too, because McDonald's will pay $15.50 an hour, but you're not getting a 40-hour week. You get a 10 to 20-hour week.
I was just having this conversation with my son in the car. We was in the drive-thru at McDonald's, and they had to sign out. And I said, "That's a decent wage." I said, "But where they get you at is they cut your hours."
So, do y'all remember y'all first job?
Yeah.
Okay. I know, and we're gonna be dropping the makings of Vic real soon, so we get ready for that. So y'all can hear some of that. But my first job was my first real taxable job was at Eckerd Pharmacy. All right, $5.15 an hour in 2002. I believe 2002. Bust my butt. Y'all see how the smile, all this good smiles and treat people well. That comes from A1, being raised right in A1 customer service from Eckerd Pharmacy. Every person walked in, I was smiling, greeting people, all ages. That was going through, catching people write bad checks, still trying to do the right thing. I was like an elite employee. man, that's a good come in, make it. I may be maybe a minute late, but it's all that I'm there. When I'm early, and I'm staying late, and I'm cool. I come in on like days when need to pick up the extra hours. I'm working harder than the older folks in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man. Year go by. I'm getting paid $5.15 once again.
Still, damn.
Get my raise.
25 cents.
$5.25, 10-cent raise.
Shut up.
Well, hey.
Wow.
Hey, and I go to my boss once again. My like me and him like this, like that's my guy. He knew my grandmother. We linked up. We was like, I'll tell y'all that story later. Rest in peace, Bill. I'm like, hey, I'm that. I am that dude. I bust my butt. I work hard. Like, he like, I know, but you got this certain percentage raise, woo woo woo, and he broke it down. He was like, hey, because I'm upset and I had to talk, I'm like, I get out of school. I'm like, I come here. Like, once again, what's going on, man? 525 ain't doing nothing for me, man. I'm getting ready to go to college. I'm a junior now. Like, I got my senior year. Like, no, I think I might be in my senior year. And I was like, at the very beginning or about to go into my senior year, he was like, hey, that's where it go. And when he said, hey, Miss So-and-so, which was like in her 30s, 40s, much older than me, got kids that's older than me, she only get paid so-and-so, like, and I'm like, what?
That's why they don't want you to talk wages. That's why.
That's my job. We talk wages, but that's different. But it's another headache while talking wages. I'm gonna tell you the other reason why I could talk about that too, because people be comparing stuff and you don't do what this other person do, but that's another conversation. But but the thing is, with me and that woman back there, I thought that one was like 60. The way she used to get around and she was young enough. My mama, because she always just say, I'm old enough to be your mama. No, you just had kids young. That's why you was old enough to be my mama. That's the only reason why. My mama could have been your mama, man. Well, but when I was like, man, we ain't that far. Come on now. But anyway, my point is that was like I want to say a culture shock, but I could say that was one of the moments in my life where that was an impactful moment in my life, honestly. Sitting down in that little office right when you walk in, and you know what CVS looked like. They had a little side office and stuff. Sitting in there with I think I would turn to CVS by then with that red and blue shirt on. And I'm just looking like, she get paid what? I'm getting paid. She get paid $7. How? And man, that's why you got to get finished out of college. You can't do that. You can't do that. Ain't no way.
The crazy part is, and then, don't even get me started on that either. To me, and this is just me, in my opinion, college is a whole crock too. It's a money grab.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I need to do another episode, that's from season 1. Our season 1 is behind the paywall, but one of our first episodes about how college. I'm the only one of my friends with the college, and I'm like, man, it's a racket. It's good in the long run, but the thing is, that's something else I appreciate about my job, because we don't like looking at degrees if we don't have to. We ain't go base, but it's a lot of things where it's based off the good boy system. It's another way to keep us down, because if you know the history, I say college should be free. It
was free until Reagan.
Until black people really started to want to go to college once again.
Right.
Because they knew if we wanted to go, we got to tax your ass ahead of time. But everybody go lose then. It's really, once again, I know folks still to this day, and I'm cool with these people, that their kids just went to college just so they can say they went to college. Kids don't know nothing, and they really get in because they mama or daddy their daddy had these connections. Sorry. I don't think, hey, they went to college or graduated. They just passed by it. But college is such a wealth. It's such a it comes from white supremacy and wealth, and black people picking up on too. But we had to pick up for survival, because once again, if you
it was used against us. I get why people started going.
Correct.
Because it was used against us. No, because they have a degree. That's why it was an excuse of why you didn't get it, or why you weren't qualified, or what have you. But then when everybody started getting the degrees, then it's like, what else? Okay, now how we gonna move? How we gonna move the goalposts now?
Yep.
Because
now experience.
And
repeat that again, please, Vic.
Now they want experience.
Oh, yep.
Once again, and
that wasn't something my son had to deal with because he graduated with a business management degree. And everywhere he went, there was hiring, told him he needed experience. He was like, well, how the hell I'm going to get experience? I mean, he did internships and everything all through college, but they wanted him to have, first it said experience, but you figure internship is your experience. Then they hit the paid experience in there.
I'm telling you, they didn't want to hire him.
They did, and that's exactly why I told him how I backdoored him into a job. I said, do this for a year and they'll hire you for a regional manager. And right now he is district manager for that same company.
Trust me. I try to make waves for us so much. And my thing is just don't get up. That's what I was saying.
Yes,
I can do so much. Like
don't say nothing. Just smile and walk away.
But that's what I say. But when I'm leaning, that's why I had this podcast. I'm trying to create something for folks that we ain't got to lean on others, but at the same time, we do have an expectation for one another. That's my thing. If I call on you for something, that's why I'm trying to switch. Like, hey, Vic, something happened. I need you to come in today. I know your day off. Because I know I'm a sacrifice, but I'll try to find people that have the same passion. Because if I'm putting my money into it, because it's a passion, I need people to do the same thing. I'm making moves that I've never seen anybody make before. That personally, and I really want to ingrain equity and be fair, but and be successful at the time. But
it's a code of conduct that you got to follow.
Yeah. Hey, but who created some of these codes of conduct? We got to pay attention. Why they were created? Who does it support as well? We got laws that's been in place, but these laws were to keep other people in certain positions and placements in life too. So I just want to make sure. Still, we have to put it this way: it's a code of conduct. It's a code of conduct that we have to continually update and change. That's my thing. We always have to go back and review. I always look at that. That is like any SOP, any process. Is it still effective? If something was made 2, 5, 10, 20 years ago, do we need to look at this again and make an adjustment? Is it still relevant to this day? So saying, and it goes all the way back to tipping. Why aren't these people getting paid a fair wage? And once again, the same thing with teachers, same thing with caseworkers. I believe if you pay people a fair and equitable wage, it's going to be better. Like, for instance, if somebody's not doing their job, it's going to be easier to let them go. That's my thing.
Right.
The crazy part, even with schools and teachers, they have the money.
I know.
They have the money, but they have the money. They just don't want to give it to them. The districts and what have you want to hold on to it for them.
And once again, anybody listening, this is Everything Culture, and we're just doing the Christmas live, the stream. We ain't saying nothing about Christmas. We ain't worried about that right there. I hope y'all enjoying. I hope y'all eating well. I hope y'all happy. I hope y'all married. Hope y'all loving one another and not loving those gifts. But the thing about with so much, and I'm still trying to understand it, is like, I don't know if people really care. I don't know if society really care about each other. I think there's some people out there, but I don't think the majority of people care about other people. And this is me being a social worker. This is me going to college for psychology and social work. This is me looking at history. This is me just paying attention and just like,
what you're saying is true. I think people really don't care. People are so selfish, and I'm talking about even within their own family structure. Because I tell you, this pandemic showed me that these parents aren't worth 2 cents, and they don't care until it affects them. Then, oh, hey, I know you were talking about this. Now I understand. They don't have empathy enough to understand without having to go through it.
Stop. What was that? Hold on. Highlight word. Can we highlight that word real quick? What word was that?
Empathy.
Does everyone know what empathy means? For the people out there listening, watching and seeing this later, You know, it's a difference between empathy and sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, I didn't know what empathy was in detail until I started working for the state of Texas when I was in training. And empathy, the ability to understand and share feelings of another. Simple as that. I know it's not that I went through the same thing, but it's the ability to understand
without having to go through it yourself. You can. Yeah.
And sympathy, the feeling of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. Or you can say the understand between people, common feeling. Once again, Sheriff, I don't have to go through the same thing you went through to have empathy. When you say, "Oh, I hurt my toe," I can actually say, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand your pain is not the same as my pain. Because if we both bump our toe and I'm like, oh, it didn't hurt me that much, but it hurts you. Empathy is like, I'm valuing you. That's your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really difficult that, once again, I'm always drawing a line when it comes down to empathy. It's like, because unfortunately we do, like, we're going all the way back to tipping and going all the way back how society's built for minimum wage. The world we live in is not meant for a lot of people to be successful. It's still going all the way back to biblical times or before. The greedy. You got greedy, and unfortunately you got greedy, and you have some people that are lazy that I also say is a part of greedy. I never want to just lean on someone. I always want to hold my own, but I also want to grow. That's what I say, when I'm trying to build something, how can I be successful and not be greedy and not take advantage of the misfortunes of others? You know what I mean? I want, because I do have some things living in luxury right now. We can consider this luxury, but does it have to come to the expense of somebody else?
Right. Did you hear about Governor Abbott did?
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
I haven't heard anything recently.
It happened today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
A busload. He sent a busload of immigrants to Kamala's house in 17-degree weather.
With no coats. They weren't prepared for the weather. Mm-mm. He spent taxpayer dollars to do that. All the while Texas, their infrastructure is failing.
Yep.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm a Texan to the fault. Well, I know whatever y'all say. My response is gonna be like, I believe whatever y'all say, because he done. That doesn't surprise me. You see the look on my face?
Mm-hmm. But the fact to do that at Christmas, that's just like,
oh yeah, I said the same thing.
But the thing is,
not only Christmas, during a nor'easter.
I know people that run his circle. He have connections to child welfare, right?
Jesus Christ.
He used to be in them courts. He used to roll up the elevator all the time. I'm talking about, I've been in, like, I ain't gonna lie, I probably shook his hand before. Once again, like, it's all connected, y'all, but them voting him back in Texas.
That was crazy.
Like, even what I'm saying right now, it's people that may, if I go to Texas one day, go back, whatever the case may be, that was really disappointing, because it's like, and I know they may hear this and see this, but man, y'all ain't about to quiet this black man's voice any longer. Simple as that. Y'all already knew I was a problem before I left Texas. Now I'm coming back with a new view that you can be successful and not be racist and not be a bigot and not be prejudiced. Oh my gosh. It's a choice.
It is a choice, yeah.
Absolutely a choice.
It's absolutely a choice.
And that's why it kind of goes back to that whole thing. Once again, all back to tipping. If we continue to choose to accept it, they gonna keep doing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
They gonna keep doing it. And I know we should do these things to be successful ourselves once again, but they're just continually being greedy. They can, like, and I'll say, when I say they, and break it down, we're talking about politicians, we're talking about large businesses that's been here for,
just even look at Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Years
Amazon,
and years.
they have money.
I can't speak anything about Amazon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But hey, everything culture, that everyone's voice is not represented.
Shut up.
We ain't trying to cause no problems.
Hey.
I can't say nothing about them people.
Amazon donates a lot.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna say something.
Oh.
Make me shut
Just,
up.
I'll text you why.
Wait a minute. Okay, make me shut up.
Yes, don't say nothing about Amazon, please.
I just remember seeing. Wait a minute. There was this company on TikTok. They were showing how they was throwing out all this good food while people were starving.
Oh, okay, let's talk about that. Well, we can talk about that briefly because I'm doing an episode about that soon.
Oh, really?
That's the next discussion after the child welfare series.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I was going to do the beauty standard, but I got to talk about hunger solutions because that's the work I'm in. Like,
yes.
I love.
I know in France, they require restaurants to donate that food instead of throwing it out.
It's such a big boy. When I tell y'all just don't know how bad it's. Hey, y'all volunteered at the food bank, like a really big one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all, that is so much food out here. Nobody should be going hungry.
Nobody should. I've told
Nobody.
people. I actively tell people to utilize food banks. I said, if you don't, I don't care if you. There's a girl I met on TikTok, and I'm like, when the kids got out of school, she had 3 kids. She's a single mother. She works, good job, and what have you. But they eat me out of the house. I said, you need to go to a food pantry. Google food pantry,
food bank, zip code, because you said,
Jessica, send them every third Saturday, Pilgrim Rest in Phoenix.
Girl, I know them all. Trust and believe.
They giving out whole turkeys, whole hams,
and you think the food bad. A lot of people,
and it'd be the same. And
it's a lot of places now. They give culturally relevant food.
Yes, they do, especially here. Yes.
Once again, I got some. Y'all just don't know how much.
Wait a minute, and I'm gonna say this also before you said. And you know what? The pandemic has made it easier to go to those pantries.
Thank you.
Yes.
All you got to do is sit in your car and drive through, and they put it in your trunk.
I was going to say Pilgrim Rest is drive through, and my church
What's
here.
What's your zip code? And how many people in your household?
Only thing you have to do is show your ID because they just need your name. They don't even care if you don't live in the city.
But everybody doesn't have. But everybody doesn't have ID. That's why we just had. Well, that's why they asked the zip code. You know.
Yeah. Well, with I can vouch for Pilgrim Rest. If you don't have ID and you want something and I'm going, I can tell them when I show up I'm getting 4 families food. They don't care how many you getting. You just got to tell them how many you.
It'd be so much stuff, and then if you don't, if they don't pass it all out, they throwing it away.
Yeah. And that's. Oh, let me tell you, I've seen so much food been thrown away. Yeah, y'all don't know. I don't think. Yeah, and it's not intentionally of the organization as well. It's just I've seen a lot of
can't keep it. Yeah.
Once again, we can have a conversation outside of this in a second, but man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Don't shut up. But I did.
I know.
Because I haven't posted the pictures on IG. My wife did. I would do it today. Kept saying I was doing. I gotta post so many pictures, but I went to, I'm in Seattle, Washington, and I had the pleasure of joining an event, of meeting some great folks. Shout out to Sync Seattle, great couple, Black couple that is from, I want to say they may be from Oklahoma. I know I've been messing this up. Yeah, I'm sorry. But they moved here to Seattle, just like my wife and I. It's not a lot of us up here, okay? Not a lot of Black folks. And they started doing networking events. Start off at their house. And then it went to like the bars, and then they had a nice event at a spot called Bird Bar of Seattle. And what's her name? Bird Bar. It was after a Black woman that started a food pantry in the 60s in Seattle. Bird Bar Place. And when I tell you, they not only are so warm and welcoming, they have not just a food bank, they call it a market. And that's something that's been discussed quite a bit. Because food, like you say, this most food banks and food shelters and programs, they just put the food, whatever they got, they give you, get in the box.
Right.
There, it's a marketplace. You have the ability to go and pick what food you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're shopping.
That's beautiful.
And a lot of people, but we had that mindset, well, you don't work, you don't eat. It's like, well, they just getting it for free. Food is a human right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have we have enough. That's like somebody putting a lock on water and air when it's natural.
Right.
We have it. It's being picked whether or not, and it's been grown and picked at an excessive rate, then thrown away.
And thrown out. Yep.
But we have something called capitalism that try to just force people. Once again, a new age. It's not the same thing as slavery, but it's a way of working people to the bone and to the wealth that makes certain people rich. Because the thing is about control. I'm gonna have enough, but I just got to keep you under my finger, and my thumb. And if once again, people don't want to see me biblically on this, because once again, God say whatever you pick. Like the thing is, you pick enough, or you just leave enough out for your neighbors. You don't supposed to be greedy. You don't take it all. And once again, it's so much left out here for the world to take. That really care for themselves. And we got to think, and like, oh, I need to talk to Vic. Yours probably be tomorrow, but I was trying to get Miss Harris Smile. But we talked about that on her episode so in detail, because think about it. Have y'all ever been hungry before?
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
When you're hungry, especially have you been hungry as a child?
Yes.
Are you able to really focus when you're hungry?
Mm-mm.
A hungry child is the reason why syrup sandwich is a thing.
Hey, is syrup sandwich a healthy thing to eat?
We
It
make
may
ketchup
not be healthy,
sandwiches.
but listen, my grandmother is from the South, and she had this saying, "A belly full is a belly full. Don't matter how it get there."
Hey, but the thing is, do you have the syrup or the sandwich or the bread to make it sometimes?
Or the bread, right?
I get all that, but I'm just saying, the hungry child, when we go in that refrigerator and we think we creating stuff, but we eat what we got to get our hands on.
But I'm telling you now, you still have a blessing to have that. It's people out here that don't have that.
Don't even have nothing, not even a can, nothing.
But when you see some people, I was raised poor, not poor, poor. I was raised where I'm like, man, but my family always find a way to, like I say, syrup sandwich, cooking hot dogs over the fire. Like we've had numerous ways to survive and eat. But at the same time, be picky. Man, I'll be looking at sometimes, me and my wife, we just so many things to eat. We don't know what to eat. That's the struggle is not having food. It's like what to eat,
Exactly.
And that's a blessing we got to look at. But at the same time, it's like I feel bad still to this day if I got to throw out like we cooking up food, wife downstairs right now, whipping it up in the kitchen. Shout out to the missus. And it's like I already said, hey, I know we're gonna eat all of this. I'm gonna take a lot of this food to work. Even though I'm off this week, I'm still gonna drop it out there because they love our food. And just I don't want it to go to waste. It's like, but when my main focus, if it's a child out there or a family, once again, I can show y'all videos. I can show y'all malnourishment, sad stuff.
Yeah.
Some people, sometimes, and a lot of time it comes from the stigma of shame. I'm too cool to go to a food bank.
It is because the church I go to now, every second and fourth Sunday, we feed not just the homeless, but anybody who is struggling to put a meal on the plate. And you can take as many platters as you want home. But when I tell you we are there to serve, but there are not so many people coming through the doors.
Exactly.
It's some people got church hurt too. I'll talk about it.
But you know what? Sometimes some of the workers there, and a lot of the pantries, sometimes they say stuff and do stuff, and they don't realize how they are creating a stigma too.
Agreed.
Because I've seen it. I've checked some volunteers, like let's not say this. Let's not do this because you don't want you. We're here to give the food away. We're not here to discourage people from coming.
Agreed. And I've been guilty of it before in the past. But once I've learned, if I can go back and even go back in time and talk to 3 years ago me, I would check myself on a lot of things. And I know I'll be receptive to hear it, but I never thought it'd been possible. I'm from Texas.
Right.
You know, you used to get out and grind, you know, pull myself boot. I got it. Once again, I got out the mud. Why ain't you getting out the mud? But at the same time, like, think about it. If I could have helped myself out younger, would it have hindered me? Or would it have helped me? Oh, Dre, it would have helped you.
Right.
I'd have know that. But the thing about we've been taught, like you say, society has taught us not to help each other.
And us in particular.
Oh, man. It's us, but it's us coming from, it's not, how do I say this? We didn't make it that way. We didn't. To us, it's not that. It was taught to be successful. And we are not in a position to turn our back on one another yet. Or we should do it at all. And that's what hurt us. Other communities may be able to do that. And you can see, oh, they're doing well. But they still stick together. And that's why we have some called racism, because they don't care if they're poor, as long as they're not us, they feel more beneficial to anything else, because that's how they try to create a society for that. Well, for us, we think just because we made it to a certain position in life that we can turn our back on one another. And I don't believe that's the truth. I don't believe we're there, because at the same time, many comedians said it before, and I'm a living witness to it, whether knowing it or not. Hey, Amber. Okay, let me reach out to her. But I love when people start hitting me up on Christmas. I ain't talked to in a long time, so I can start sending them my podcast. But but it's to that point where with us, I don't know what you think you are, but you still us. Like I talk about, once again, I always go back to the church, and it crazy. Yeah. And it was crazy. Like I was in Vic's stream last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, it was hearing one of the brothers talking, no slight towards him, can't think of his name at the moment, but it said something, and it just somehow I went to the black church, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the black church got to do with this? You know, the black church, like when I use my church for example. The amount of scholarships, the amount of food we give out, the amount of things you do. What are you talking about?
Listen, I don't remember which brother you were talking about, but I know where you come from. But that goes back to that saying of church hurt, because just because your church does that doesn't mean for every other church to do that. Because that church,
but Vince, that's the problem. Just like, and I'm gonna say, in some cases with racism, one person did that to you, so now they do it to everybody, and it's that mentality. You're right. Your church did that to you doesn't mean this church is going to do it to you. But people got to get past that stigma of that.
Yeah, but one thing I would say going
but
back.
You know what, I'm gonna tell you. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Vic, what were you saying?
Nah, I was just saying that. I remember. I think I remember who you talking about. But I have to play back that episode, but it just goes back to church hurt, like, because I think we got to get out of this thing of just because one person did it, that means that everybody's the same way. So it's like, and we just got to get rid of that. We got to find a way to change that stigma.
And to touch on quickly, you know, especially with racism and church hurt, I can compare those two because one is a whole system that's been created. Church hurt is about a collective sort of feelings and thoughts, because it's not all the way, but race is an absolute system from the police to government in detail. Now, church hurt, it varies what happened in that church you were in, because church hurt is not just in the Black community. I want to be clear about that.
Yes,
that's overall, and it's not only church hurt; it's different people in religion in total. Because it's not just, you know, whatever. Because I know people may hit Christianity, but it's not just that. But when I'm looking at, once again, when I hear church, I say this, I had, once again, learning process, because I had some church hurt in my life too. And it wasn't, and the church hurt didn't even come from a pastor. It came from the congregation. Okay. It came from the people in the church, where at the end of the day, what were they at the end of the day? People. The same, and they the same ones in the club. Same ones I'm gonna see at the bar. For whatever reason, I'm choosing not to go to church. I was a teenager, and I was like, I see they're the same people I see everywhere else. I can't blame them on the church. I had to get that at that point of judging them while I'm in the church. They trying to come here just like I am, trying to be a better person. But a lot of us come to church and expect people to be better already.
No, church is full of hurt people just like you.
Exactly.
Trying to get healed.
Trying to heal and trying to change. That's why I say you come as you are. But while you there, you make some changes while you there. Okay. While you consistently going. You should be growing while you're there.
Yeah,
But
some people they just wanna be click offish and they want to be standoffish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my thing is I had to learn. Once again, I said this story before. I saw some stuff in the church I didn't like. And it was one sermon. Pastor was pastoring. And he's, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was like, what are you doing for the Lord? You going out, you doing all this for, your job, for this check, for these folks. And them folks can let you go anytime. But the Lord would never forsake you. He was always be there for you. But what you doing for him? Are you using your same talents, your same abilities and skills for God? I'm like, hey, I'm not. I'm over here busting my butt for these folks.
And they're getting no reward but that 10-cent raise.
Yeah, full circle. Just like, you feel me? And I said, man, let me use these skills and I said, hey, let me help. And such a difference.
And a lot of, just like you
serving.
learned, Drake, and a lot of people use that when they talk about tithing in the church. Oh, the church always asking for money. You don't have to tithe money. You could tithe your time. You could tithe your talent. You could tithe your whatever your passion is. If you like being around kids, volunteer in the youth ministry. Teach them how to sing so Drake can like going to youth Sunday.
Thank you. Please. Thank you. Like, that's the thing. I just posted a video. I just posted a picture yesterday. I'm gonna try to put it up on here. Like, I was asked to be Joseph in the play.
I saw that. You was handsome, Joseph.
And that's what they were like. Oh, we need you because they like the very ball. And don't forget, Joe. Like, and a lot of other people was young. I know Mary was like 12 to 15 years old.
Yeah.
But and they were like, we want you because your age. I'm like, hey, this kind of creepy, but hey.
Listen, I just got one question. Yeah. Did you take the toothpick out before you went on stage?
All that was a filter.
Okay.
Man, I was back there chilling because the funniest thing, because they asked me like a week before the play. And I like, this was last minute, y'all. But you know what? My guy came. The guy was like, God talked to me like a week prior to that. Was like, hey, if I need on you, I'm gonna call on you. You go there to answer. Oh yeah. And when he called on me, I like, this what you want, Lord? Okay. But like, and I
like you had your village. I saw the little picture afterwards with your village around you. Yeah, I was okay.
And I'm missing a few out of them too. A lot of people came through. Shout out to the misses and support. It's and that's what I say. Be involved. You'd be surprised the change you're making. I was around a lot of the youth, and I had a lot of good sense, and was trying to give uplifting them. They already know me from being mentors and things of that nature. But when I tell you, just understanding, like the funniest thing I would say, I was gonna talk about like being like I could talk all day about Joseph. Okay, could y'all be Joseph?
No.
That's better than that's I could like because I think it was Sister Beverly. She was like, now act like know what Joe could get through and like to read like really get into who he was. Like a lot of people think Joseph was just cool with it. Nah, Joseph wasn't cool with it.
He wasn't.
Joseph was like one of them niggas you see on divorce court. He was like, hey.
Hold on, player.
Yeah, what's this?
What's going on here?
It had to take an angel to come visit Joseph too.
Yes,
a whole different thing.
God had to send an angel because Joseph was like, I'll be daggone.
Because you know what? If Joseph didn't approve, look, now that's now we talking about Christmas right here. Because if Joseph didn't support Mary, what would have happened to Mary?
There you go. Exactly.
What would have happened to Mary?
They would have stoned her.
They would have stoned her for sure.
They would have killed her.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been rap. So just as much, this could be a segment for the stepfathers right here.
Yeah, I mean that angel came down and told him that was a blessing from God, that Mary did not do any, like the angel was rowling for Mary like she didn't do nothing wrong.
Exactly.
This is from God. He had to hear the voice to tell him.
But just to think what was shaming him, he was just I don't know, but just say he was more worried about what society thinks.
Yes, because he could not get his wife pregnant. That was the shame.
No, I don't think that was even active. That's the thing.
No,
they weren't. Yeah, I'm just saying he was more so worried about what are these people going to think? What are they thinking about me? What are they going to think? And that same mentality goes on today.
Yes, it does. Pride before the fall. Mm-hmm.
And then we got to push it on towards knowing Joseph before. You know what his brothers did to him? His brothers sold him.
Yes.
Like
he's like, I can't catch a break.
Exactly.
That's my brother and now my wife.
And the thing is, he just had to have faith. And that's the thing, he had to build relationship. And once again, I ain't trying to preach to y'all right now, but when I'm speaking, no matter what I'm preaching, because that's how he speaks. It may not look like that, but hopefully somebody's catching on to what I'm saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, what we're saying is to have that faith in what we're doing. And because you never know what the type of impact you're going to have on the future of others. Because once again, if it wasn't for Joseph, and it wasn't for that, like Mary may not have been here to bring in what we today we supposed to be celebrating today. Be mindful of that. That's why I'm always, when I was doing that, and once again giving back to the church, that sacrifice, and that's what today's supposed to represent. Today's supposed to represent love. That's
our Christmas service for today, folks.
For real, this is what God gave us love today. When Jesus was, he was born a few months ago, but what's what it represent? Giving you love, sacrifice, from giving his one begotten son all the way to from then being raised to where he gave up his life on the cross. That's going to be here in the next 3-4 months. It's going to be, that is what is love. And a lot of people looking for love and don't know what love is. But love is absolute sacrifice. Having faith and sacrifice, and having faith in someone else that you may not even believe in, you don't even know. And it's scary out here. I know it's like, but that's what it is. That's what it is. So I want to say I love and I appreciate y'all. I would say, I don't know. I know Sister Girl, but just, you got to be, if y'all got anything y'all want to shout out and share, please do so. We love to hear it. We love to follow up. And same thing, shout out to Jaya in the chat here on YouTube. But I just want to say happy Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa Eve. I will start today on how to celebrate Kwanzaa. I think tomorrow is it Umoja. So
yes, it is.
Get it going.
Well, I just want to shout out.
Always. Hey, I'm serious. Every Sunday. I'm trying to bring back our Fridays, but for sure every Sunday.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was like, we just want to do the book today.
I didn't mark, like, a lot came up. Work was busy.
It's a holiday weekend. We just wait until after everything is over. Then there won't be no interferences.
I'm off all week, so we're gonna get a lot of stuff done. Oh, and we may need to do another one tomorrow because we have to do our hoodies. We're gonna do Culture Keepers. That's what I'm leading on right now.
I told you that sounded good.
Yeah, even the wife even went with Culture Keepers. So I'm like, I gotta go. Like Bushi said, that sounds good. Looks good.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up another Zoom because I was talking to T yesterday. I'm gonna try to have something I'll hook y'all up with.
But I like that shirt. I don't know if that shirt was for us, but that shirt was fire.
We're gonna make, once again, that's gonna be my bag this week, is updating the website with content. I'm gonna send y'all, of course, y'all get the hoodies. Would y'all prefer a hoodie? That's the question. Okay, y'all in Arizona.
We still have chilly days here. It ain't always hot.
Okay.
Right. It's cold. What's warm to others is cold to us.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, and I would like the hoodie because I may be going to the East Coast, and what is typically there still winter time come February, March. So that'll be, yeah. So give me some cards too, because I'm passing them out. Anybody asks me about you.
I gotta send. So that's why I gotta send. Even the wife asked for some more cards. But Vic, shout out your podcast, baby. Shout out your platform.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for coming on, having me on. Liquor Talk, the New Year's episode is dropping on Wednesday. You're going to hear that conversation where Drake was on there. Drake popped in there. You're going to hear it. So that's all the fellas, all black men. We talking about the best of 2022. And the Christmas episode is out now. So one time for Drake having me on. And, I do appreciate Drake for coming on, blessing us with the presence. So it's nice to have another man's perspective.
Oh, that's what we got to do, baby. Hey, support. It's easy to support, in my opinion. I don't know why people are trying to say it's so hard. And Lo, I know you got something. Do you have anything? Sure, you got anything going on?
No, I was just going to shout out that from the topics we were talking about, if there is anybody in the Tucson area who is having any financial or positional issues that you are having a hard time getting food on the table, please go to Friendship Missionary Baptist Church every second and fourth Sunday for a hot home-cooked meal. And I can vouch because I made some dressing yesterday. So it is hot home-cooked meals every second and fourth Saturday. They give out clothes and toiletries and sanitary items as well. For a Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Tucson on First Avenue off of Speedway.
Does Donna Walker help you there?
Yes.
That's my friend.
Okay, I just met her yesterday.
Really? She's a beautiful person.
I just got introduced to her. I seen her before, but I didn't know her name.
See, look, see, we get into the CC. That's how we talk. That's how we make our connection. Hey, YouTube.